All right, before we start this video, I just want to say something quickly. Um, First of all, I just want to give my prayers and my condolences to the students of a high school in Michigan today that were the victims of a tragedy, and I just want to say that I stand with those students and I stand with those teachers and everybody, and I pray to God, and I really do pray that every single one is okay. For what it is, it's a saddening thing. Bonjour, mes amis, je suis Allergique Canadien, and welcome back to another NFL Week in Review. Week 12 has come and it has gone. But as far as Thanksgiving, but yeah, but hope you guys did enjoy your Thanksgiving. It was, well, for me, because I'm actually gotta tell you this. Prior, because you saw all last week's videos, those are all pre-recorded. All these videos they are pre-recorded on a Tuesday and then posted or and then scheduled for whenever they're supposed to go up. So on Monday last week, the Monday before Thanksgiving, I went and I got tested for COVID-19. And the next morning, Tuesday morning, I got tested positive. But don't worry, right now I'm okay. I am doing fine. I am luckily right now better. I'm almost at the end of my state mandate, so I'm gonna go get tested again. I did it a week, and then I'll go from there. But for right now, I'm fine. I saw I got a few texts and all that, and I do want to say thank you for those that did reach out and check on me to make sure I was okay and all that, because it's not fun. But again, thank you guys for those checked in. But on to the video, because I can't keep you with the somber shit enough. I mean, if you saw the opening clip, it was somber enough, and like I said, shit like that sucks. But before the video starts, as always, get yourself some Benchwarmer Brew over at benchwarmerbrew.com. They now have T-shirts on the store, but still, get the damn coffee. You will not regret it. Just get the fucking coffee. Benchwarmerbrew.com. Link in the description. But without further ado, there we go. Goddamn green screen. Oh, it's this one. All right, there we go. Okay, fuck you, you patriot. Let's just get rid of it. Let's just get it away. I'm not gonna bother with this fucking loaded douchebag. That is my green screen. All right, Thursday night football, week number 12 here. We motherfucking go. Oh wait, that's right. It was Thanksgiving, which means you guys had 3 games to watch. The first one was a shit show, as obviously expected. How was this a shit show? Well, dear viewer, allow me to tell you the story of this. The Bears versus the Lions on this thankful day. They met at Ford Field to try and play a good old game of football as per Thanksgiving tradition. What was showcased on the field was a bunch of bullshittery and not offenses that couldn't get anything done worth hell. The defenses tried to sack and they tried to tackle, but in the end of the day, they couldn't do anything more. If anything, the defense was really the best part of the game, because they shut down the offenses, which they jack shit. Mr. Fields had another shitty game, but hell, he still tried throwing for. Oh wait, that's right. It wasn't Fields. It was Andy Dalton. That's how you know this is bad. Mr. Dalton had a group of 317 passing yards. Jesus Christ. And he even got a touchdown pass, but as well as a pick. Mr. Mooney, congratulations. You got a 100-yard receiving game. But on the other side of the football, it was Jared Goff. For less than 175 passing yards and 2 touchdowns will kind of do it. And then Reynolds had another day with 70 yards and a touchdown reception of his own. In other news, DeAndre Swift left the game with an injury. which is never a good sight to see. But like, I'll say this before I get to the result. Okay, I understand Chicago fans don't like Matt Nagy. Okay, I understand they don't like Matt Nagy. I'm one of them. Even though I'm not a Bears fan, I don't like Matt Nagy either. I'm with the Bears fans on this one. But look at, don't go to his son's basketball game and fucking chant "Fire Nagy." Don't fucking do that. Cause you know what? Cause you know what that makes you look like? That makes you look like an absolute fucking prick. And we don't like fucking pricks here. I deal with this fucking fan base. 16-14 your final score. Detroit is 0-10-1. The Bears are now 4-7. Nothing's gonna save the NFC North, is it? Because apparently can't have enough bullshittery enough. Speaking of bullshittery, let's go to the 28 penalty game. By that I mean the Raiders and the Cowboys. There was laundry everywhere. Look at, there were 28 fucking penalties. On average, that is 7 per quarter. Hell, 4 of them came in like the final play of overtime. The one like where the Raiders got the field goal to win it. Like, come the fuck on. Like, really? I mean, Derek Carr at least had a nice game of like 373 passing yards on a touchdown pass. Jacobs with 87 rushing yards on a TD. Hunter Renfrow with 134 receiving yards. Deshaun Jackson with 102 receiving yards on a touchdown of his own. But like, Jesus Christ. But then there's the Cowboys. Look at, the quarterbacks were pretty much the same in terms of the passing yardage. Prescott got 2 more than Derek Carr did. He had Prescott had 375. Carr had 373. Prescott had an extra touchdown pass over Carr. But again, it's very similar. Michael Gallup had a nice game here, 106 receiving yards. No, again, if there's one thing I could say about the Cowboys, what the fuck was that final sequence? Let me try to break this down to you if you did not see the game. Here's how that final fucking sequence went. A 34-yard attempt, penalty for, I believe it was neutral zone infraction or delay a game. Delay a game, sorry. Which made it to a 39-yard attempt. Flag, neutral zone infraction on Dallas. Back to the 34-yard attempt. So that was 2 penalties already. And then for the 34-yard attempt, part 2, flag, neutral zone infraction on Dallas. Penalty number 4. No, sorry, 4 didn't come from the end of that. No, it's fucking 3, sorry. 34 turned into 39, then turned it back into 34. And then that turned it into a 29-yarder. Carlson with the game-winning field goal in overtime. Raiders, bit of a shocker here. They defeated the Dallas Cowboys. 36-33. All right, don't get me wrong. Both teams played fucking brilliantly. If anything, this was the true Thanksgiving Day matchup that we all wanted to see. Because Carr went off, Prescott went off, Renfrow went off, Gallup went off, Jackson went off. Like, this is a good game. Don't get me wrong. This is a great game. But like, I feel like it would have been better without at least 14 of those penalties. If you get rid of half of those, then I think it's the perfect game. But what do I know? I'm just a college kid. And then the regular Thursday night football segment or Thanksgiving game number 3, Bills Saints. And what can be described as their funeral of New Orleans? Because, oh boy, those Saints are not doing good anymore. Let's see, you lose out on Breeze because he retired. God have mercy on his soul because Drew Brees is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. But they also lose Jameis fucking Winston to an ACL injury, which ends this season. Look at Trevor Siemian. He's not that good. He's not that good, New Orleans. But why do you still play him? Why? Man, Taysom Hill, you extended him to a fucking lucrative contract, right? Use him. Use him. No, seriously, use him. I'm waiting. Hell, I'm sure Saints fans are waiting too. Like, look at Josh Allen, right? He only had five. He only threw for 5 incompletions on the game. 23 completions, 260 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, but 2 picks. All right, whatever. Stephon Diggs with 74 receiving yards and a touchdown. Devin Singletary with 44 rushing yards. You're not gonna be good every game with that. Simeon though, 163 passing yards. You throw for 12 incompletions and 17 completions on the game. Granted, you get a touchdown pass, which was preceded by a missed extra point. And you throw a pick too, so I don't know. Humphrey with 47 receiving yards. Like there were some Saints players that did jack shit this game. And I mean that. There was a players that did jack shit. The Saints looked like shit. The Bills kind of looked like shit, but unlike the Saints, the Bills can manage their team. 31-6, Bills win. And at that point in time, they tied for the lead in the AFC East with the Patriots. I don't know, maybe. I don't know. Non-regular Sunday football. Let's go to Bengals versus Steelers. And oh my God. Does anybody want to explain what it is that happened here? I'll try my best to explain this one. So the Bengals absolutely fucked over the Steelers. Burrow got less than 200 passing yards, mind you. He got a touchdown pass, and yeah, he did also throw a pick. Joe Mixon, 165 rushing yards on 28 carries and 2 touchdowns. Joe Burrow himself had a rushing touchdown. Higgins was the guy that got the touchdown reception. He also had 114 receiving yards. The next Bengal down in terms of receiving yardage was Jamar Chase with 39. What the hell happened here? As for the Steelers, Captain Fatfuck is still not learning anything. 263 passing yards, sure. You get a touchdown pass, yeah, but you throw 2 interceptions. At least Deontay Johnson looked good with 95 receiving yards. And Frymouth is actually looking to be a pretty solid rookie tight end with 40 receiving yards and a touchdown. At least you got that. Well, otherwise your running back didn't do jack shit today. Najee Harris only went for 23 yards. He averaged 2.9 yards in that game. So under 3 yards in that game for him. Like, what the hell happened here? Final score of 41-10. The Bengals absolutely shit stomped the Steelers here. 7-4 for the Bengals, 5-1 for the Steelers. No. I think this is the time to say the Steelers are fucked. But what do I know? All right, Panthers, Dolphins, and what could be described as a what the fuck game. This is why we got this, people. Link in the description. Get the copy. This game can be described as how do I describe this game? You can't. A shit game? A game where you just utterly collapsed? I don't know. It all just depends on what the fuck you got with it. I don't know. But in terms of the statistics, because I like to do that on the show. My show, I just like to do it how I like to do it. Wait, you know what? You want to know how bad Carolina's quarterbacking was this week? I'm going to tell you the combined stats for the QBs, and this is Cam Newton and PJ Walker. 10 for 31, what is that? 100 and 102, 112, 122, 132, 142, 152, 162, 172, 179 passing yards and 3 interceptions. Like that's how you know it's bad. Like, because I can't even say that. I can't even think of what to say. Okay, I'm like, I may be distracted. Like, no. It's like I'm looking at the fucking thing. It's like, what in the hell do we fucking say here? You can't say anything. What do you do there? What do you do there? Seriously, what the fuck do you want to do there? I mean, McCaffrey, 35 rushing yards. But now, after this gets done, he's out for the season. And here's like, and I think it's because of that ankle injury he suffered a few weeks ago. He came out apparently too soon. He re-injures his ankle, is forced to go back on IR, which I believe by NFL rule, the second trip to the IR in the season automatically disqualifies you for the remainder of the season. Which fucking sucks. Okay? Which fucking sucks. And we're praying for you, McCaffrey. Please get better. We want to see you dominant again. DJ Moore was also dominant in this game with 103 receiving yards. Too bad he couldn't get a touchdown. Now, as for the Dolphins, 4 incompletions all game by Tua Tagovailoa. I'm sorry. 230 passing yards and a touchdown. Gaskin with 49 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. Waddle got a touchdown reception on 137 receiving yards. I don't even know. 33-10. You want to know how bad this game was for the Panthers? They benched Newton for PJ Walker during that game. That's how bad that game was for the Panthers. They benched Newton. I don't fucking know what you want me to say about that team anymore. I just really don't. And we get to the derp game. Derpity derp derp derp. But it's the Benchwarmer Brew at benchwarmerbrew.com. There's nothing really much to say about this game. This game was flat out horrible. Hurts looked like dog shit this game. From 3 picks. At least he got 77 rushing yards. And even then, what the fuck does that say about the team? Here's the answer for you. It fucking doesn't. Hell, your top-rated receiver in the game only had 32 receiving yards, and that was Gainwell. Not Goddard, who had 1 catch in the game but no yardage. It wasn't Rager, who had 2 catches for 31 yards. It was Gainwell. 32 receiving yards. As for the Giants, 19 for 30, 202 passing yards and a touchdown for Danny Derps. Saquon came back this week with only 40 rushing yards. And then there's Darius Slayton with negative 13 rushing yards on 1 carry. Oof. Kenny Golladay is all right, 50 yards on 3 receptions. Not terrible, but could be better. But in the end, this game fucking sucked. 13-7, Giants get an ugly win against the Eagles. And so much so, and I'm talking about the Giants in this case, so much so that when I said the Giants were mediocre on a Twitter post and a reply, a butthurt Giants fan decided to go at me using my Canadian heritage to use a stereotype of Canadians like hockey. He tried to bash me. The only Giants fan I like is 5 points. Yeah. So the next game we got Patriots Titans. Not gonna lie, the Titans were actually pretty good. They actually did try to give the Patriots a fight. And that's saying something because like we haven't had a good fight in a while. Hell, the defense actually did decent. The Patriots defense, on the other hand, held Tannehill to 93 passing yards that entire game. 93 passing yards that entire game. A touchdown and a pick for him. And it's also important to mention that the Titans had 2 running backs with over 100 yards that went for over 100 yards. Hilliard with 131 yards and a touchdown, and Foreman for 109 yards and no touchdown. That's not bad. But you know who has to suffer? Your receiving core. 25 receiving yards for Westbrook. At least he had a touchdown. At least he had a touchdown, right? But it's all about Mr. Macri Jones doing Macri Jones things. 310 passing yards and 2 touchdowns for him today. 46 rushing yards for Ramondre Stevenson. Harris had 40 rushing yards, but he did get a touchdown. Hoyer, I guess, was out there for a little bit, but we don't talk about Hoyer here and not much, unless we really have to. But he's still a beautiful man. Myers with 98 receiving yards. Kendrick Bourne also had a nice game with 61 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. Well, Patriots get the win here, 36-13. They are now 8-4, heading into the matchup with Buffalo next week. For basically, it's a game to see who rules the AFC East. Is it either the Patriots or is it the Bills? They play each other 2 times in 3 weeks starting next week. So, because like we play week 13, Patriots have to buy in 14. Patriots play somebody else in 15. I don't know who it is, and then they play the Bills in week 16. Oh, it is what it is. Anyway, how do you describe the Falcons are trying to get back up. The Jaguars are still dog shit. I wouldn't say a tank bowl, but I would say like a mediocre bowl. We'll call it that, a mediocre bowl. Because let's face it, the Jaguars were not going to win this game, and I said that last week. I said last week that the Jaguars were not going to beat the Falcons, and I stood correct here. Cordarrelle Patterson with 108 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. Gage with 62 yards and a touchdown. Matt Ryan with less than 200 passing yards, 190 to be exact. A touchdown, but another pick. Ryan is just having a streak of picks all of a sudden. What in the hell is going on? Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, 220 passing yards for Mr. T-Law, a touchdown and a pick. Robinson with 86 rushing yards, and Treadwell with 53 receiving yards. But the big story here is really the status of Mr. Urban Meyer. Because nobody knows what the fuck is up with him. Because people know he's not going to be in Jacksonville for long, right? We know he's not going to be in Jacksonville for long. But now the question is when is he getting fired? Or when is he resigning? Could this be like a Bobby Petrino thing that we saw with the Falcons a few years ago? Not a few years ago, back in 2007, where he quit in week 13? Or do we just see this as or is this gonna be an off-season thing where they start chopping heads off on Black Monday? I don't know. But final score here is going to be 21-14. Falcons win. They are now 5-6. The Jaguars are 2-9 and are mathematically eliminated. Was anyone surprised with this at all? Next up, we got the Buccaneers to get on the Colts. Do we say this is a choke game for the Colts because they choked the lead? Whoo! Was it 24-0 at one point, and then the fucking Buccaneers just seemed to rally? Honestly, it's they rallied in this game. Tom Brady did what Tom Brady does, and he just leads a team to come back. 226 passing yards, a touchdown, and a pick. Fournette with 100 rushing yards, but 3 touchdowns. And Mr. Gronky, well, actually, no, I'm sorry. Fournette had 4 touchdowns, including a receiving touchdown for 31 yards. Gronk went for 123 receiving yards and no touchdowns. I guess the Buccaneers are, well, I mean, the Buccaneers are good either way because Tom Brady. Carson Wentz, 306 passing yards and 3 touchdowns and 2 picks for him as they transition over to the Colts side of the ball. Hilton with a touchdown reception. We only went for 28 yards this game. Doolin, 1 catch, 62 yards, and a touchdown in his first ever NFL touchdown. 62 yards. Not bad. Not bad, kid. Not bad. Welcome to the league. Jonathan Taylor, as always, is a fucking stud. 83 rushing yards and a touchdown. Doyle, again, 81 receiving yards and a touchdown of his own. Look at the Colts actually trying to make this a game. Okay, they actually trying to make this a game. And they did. They made it a close game against the Buccaneers. But the Buccaneers still managed to get the win. 38-31, your final score. As always, 8-3. Bucks improved to 8-3. The Colts are now 6-6 and are looking like shit. Who saw this coming? Okay, now we can call this a tank poll. I love you, Chi. Please subscribe to him. Well, did anyone really see this shit show coming? Zach Wilson only got 145 passing yards and an interception. Coleman only got 67 rushing yards, and he was the most productive Jet on the day. You know, I'm not even shitting you. Zach Wilson at least got a rushing touchdown. And then Walter got a touchdown of his own. Okay. Something. But the Texans were no better. 158 passing yards by Tyrod Taylor. Two touchdowns and a pick. And Brandon Cooks had a touchdown reception on 45 receiving yards he had throughout that game. It's basically in a sense of what the fuck, you know? But 21-14, the Jets win. But the real winner of tank bowl here is Houston. Because with that loss, they too are mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. I say mathematically. And I said it for Jacksonville not long ago. I say mathematically because it's not official. It just means that they will finish the year with less losses than they will with wins. I don't know. I just don't know. Chargers, Broncos, and not a bad game. Justin Herbert. Okay, I will say though, Justin Herbert's a beauty. All right, I don't dislike Justin Herbert. I like him. He's a good QB. 303 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 picks. Again, he can improve. Herbert led the rushing with 36 rushing yards on 4 carries. Keenan Allen, 85 receiving yards, no touchdowns. Eckler did get a touchdown though, and only had 68 receiving yards. And so did Jared Cook, only 25 receiving yards and a touchdown for him. But the Broncos, on the other hand, had some plans. Teddy Bridgewater did pretty much a bulk of the work. 129 passing yards and a touchdown on 11 completions. Melvin Gordon with 83 rushing yards. Bridgewater helped. Even Bridgewater had a rushing touchdown. How is that for you? Williams with a touchdown rush of his own. As well as Sauber with a 1-yard touchdown pass, a one-yard touchdown carry. Or reception, you know what I mean. Pretty much Bridgewater did bulk of the work, and then Drew came in. He threw in for 26 yards, and he got a pick. Did anybody see that one coming? Because I sure did. 28-13, your final score. Hey, Perna, if you're watching this, please sponsor me. I love your coffee. Please, I will say whatever you want me to say about your coffee. Just give me a sponsorship, please. I say that because he's from Colorado. Uh, if you guys enjoying this so far, just do leave a like down below. I am trying to get to 100 subs before the year's end, so it would be really appreciative if you guys could just go ahead and hit that red button to subscribe, and maybe turn on the notifications if you want. I mean, it doesn't help you, but it does help me. So again, thank you. Next game, we got the 49ers taking on the Vikings. And okay, what the hell? Cousins got 238 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Hell, Justin Jefferson can even throw a football. He got 24 passing yards on one throw. Dalvin Cook with 39 rushing yards, but the big story with Cook is he was carted off during the game, which fucking sucks, and I hope he gets better. I'm praying for you, Dalvin. Just get better, buddy. And Justin Jefferson, not only can he throw a football, but he can catch. 83 reception yards, 83 receiving yards. Adam Thielen with the 2 touchdowns for 62 yards total on the game for him. On the Niners side of the ball, we got Jimmy G, 230 passing yards, touchdown, and a pick. Fucking Eli Mitchell, man. Like, let me say, Eli Mitchell has been a name that's just sprung up over the past couple weeks, and he has been fucking beautiful. 133 rushing yards and a touchdown. Deebo Samuel, too. 66 rushing yards in the game, sure, but he had 2 touchdowns. And then Jennings with a touchdown reception of his own on 24 receiving yards in the game. But look at, give credit to the Niners here as they take the win 34-26. But again, we're praying for Dalvin Cook to hopefully get better from his injury, because we would hate to see anything else out of that. Next game we got here is the Rams taking on the Green Bay Packers. I'll get to the major stuff about the Rams in a bit, because it kind of does involve them, but I won't say anything right now. Stafford had a beautiful game, 302 receiving yards. I mean, not receiving yards, passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick. Henderson only ran for 55 yards today. Cooper Kupp for 96 receiving yards. At least Odell Beckham Jr. got a touchdown for the Rams. So did Henderson, but via reception. And Van Jefferson. This game was actually not bad for the Rams. It was actually pretty good for them. The Packers also had a great game. Mr. Aaron Rodgers, Mr. Immunized, with 307 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. A.J. Dillon with a very nice 69 rushing yards. Again, very nice. Devontae Adams with 104 receiving yards in the game. Randall Cobb with 95 and a touchdown. Dillon did get a touchdown in this game, but again by reception, only with 21 yards. But this is a close game, and I still don't understand why the hell the Rams didn't just go for a touchdown, but just went for a field goal instead. But it's okay. 36-28, the Packers beat the Rams. Rams, though, I'm sure they're going to forget about that game for a moment, because they got a loss they just experienced. So basically, an undrafted player who signed with the Rams in the offseason by the name of Otis Anderson Jr. He was a running back out of UCF and looking for an opportunity in the NFL. He signed with the Rams in the offseason. He attended training camp. He played in the preseason. It was on their practice squad in September before ultimately being cut. But the other night, unfortunately, it is being reported that his own father, Otis Anderson Sr., because of an argument, shot and killed Mr. Otis Anderson Jr. He was only 23 years old, and said, and I'm not gonna go too much into the details about it because it's still kind of coming out. But we know his father was arrested for that shooting, and he's being charged with second-degree murder on his son. Okay, to see a young running back like that be killed because of a fucking stupid argument sucks. I mean, but rest in peace, Mr. Otis Anderson, and you will be missed dearly. Not just by the Rams players and whatever, but also by your UCF family. Like, this world sucks. Humanity sucks. But Sunday night football, and again, it's not an easy transition. Sunday night football, Ravens, Browns. This game was just utter dog shit. And it basically seemed like nobody wanted to fucking win. What do I mean by nobody wanted to win? Because offenses couldn't score worth jack shit. It was pretty much the first half can be described by just two words: field goals. Too many field goals. Like, this game was atrociously bad. It was atrocious. The first touchdowns weren't scored until the fucking third quarter because no offense could get anything going. It was the final sequence of the first half. I will say it, like the final couple minutes. It was just turnover after turnover after turnover. I get it, it's an exciting part of the game. But when you have too many in one sequence like that, it's just basically like, okay, what the fuck is this? And that's basically what it turns into. Baker Mayfield had a nice game, 247 passing yards and a touchdown. Kareem Hunt came back in this game. Well, he only had 20 rushing yards. Jarvis Landry, 111 receiving yards on 6 catches. David Njoku got a touchdown reception on 35 yards in the game. I don't know about the Browns anymore. As for Lamar Jackson, this was his worst game yet. And I mean that. This was Lamar Jackson's worst game so far in his career. And this is what I mean. 165 passing yards. You get a touchdown pass, but you also get 4 interceptions. At least he ran for 68 yards. But those 4 interceptions are going to leave a bad taste in your mouth, man. Mark Andrews with 65 receiving yards and a touchdown. But this game was just awful. Okay, this game was awful. Like, final score 16-10. Ravens get an ugly, ugly win as they go to 8-3. And after the Titans lost, they are now the number 1 seed in the AFC. As for the Browns, they're mediocre. They're not terrible, they're just mediocre. And then finally, Monday night game, the Seattle Seahawks versus the Washington football team. Okay, this game also kind of sucked. But I will say though, funny fucking moment. Raheem Green ran, and this is after the football team got a touchdown in the second quarter. This was a case of a big guy touchdown at its best. Dude, he ran so far, so fast. And his like if you saw his body build, like, that shouldn't be possible. But that was amazing. He ran. Basically, there's a block. Basically, this is the sequence right here. Football team goes for the extra point. Green blocks it with his helmet or his elbow, I couldn't tell. The ball bounces on the ground. He recovers it, and he runs. He just goes. And that becomes 2 points for the Seahawks. Well then, that was something. Russ, though, 247 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. I still don't think he's recovered from that finger. I still don't think he's recovered from that broken finger yet. He's just not as confident. Tyler Lockett with 96 receiving yards in the game. Wilson with 16 rushing yards, but The touchdown receptions were by Gabriel Everett only went 37 yards total, and Swain, who got a 32-yard touchdown because that was his only reception of the game. But as for Taylor Heineke, 223 passing yards, a touchdown and a pick. Antonio Gibson with 111 rushing yards. McKissick was the one to get the rushing touchdown for the Washington football team after only rushing 30 yards. He did get a touchdown. And Trevor McLaurin and 51 receiving yards. This game was bad. 17-15, Washington wins. So now the Giants are last in the NFC East. Seahawks just suck. even without Geno Smith as starting quarterback. This is a bad game for them. Like, what the fuck is going on in Seattle? Like if you're a Seattle fan, just comment down below what the fuck is going on. But that is going to do it for this episode of the NFL Week in Review. Comment down below what you guys want me to cover for next week if there's anything. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, leave a like. Comment down below what you guys want to see next, or if you have any suggestions. If you have not done so already, subscribe and join the Arsenal Army. Until the next episode, guys, just see the legend at the end. Bon nuit and au revoir.